Hello, Delmarva, and welcome to the first ever podcast from Advanced Climate Care, Let's Talk Comfort. What's Let's Talk Comfort about? First, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Mike Newman. This is
Bobby Dickerson.
And we're here to bring you this awesome podcast series about it. I'm going to let Bobby here tell you what this whole show is all about.
Let's Talk Comfort. So, Mike, you know Homes on Homes, HDTV, I think it was maybe. That guy went into homes, told people what for, just tore the place apart. You know, if something wasn't right, you knew it. And that really inspired me to actually think about something like Let's Talk Comfort. I know we're not a major network, but if we can reach out to even just the local people and let them know just about one portion of their home with the HVAC side of it, and educate people of what could be wrong in their home. They might have everything great in there, but we just want to make sure that they're comfortable and that everything's right.
I know firsthand. I used to love that show because it was the first experience I was able to witness of the right way to do things and the wrong way to do things. And you had no idea how bad things could get when something was done wrong in your home. And that show kind of helped you walk around your house and just like, oh my gosh, that could happen to me because that's right there. And he said, oh, this is a bad thing. So that was an awesome gift, an awesome godsend to have that show. So this is what this show is about for your HVAC system, because before I got into HVAC, before I knew anything, I had no idea how expensive an HVAC system could cost. And I had no idea of all the dangers that are out there, that I had no idea that could like just cut the lifespan of that in half. And nobody wants to fork out. Like, what's a high-end number for an HVAC system? For, like, let's say it's a 100-year-old house. We're in the Delmarva area. You see them all over the place. The homes are built like 100 years ago. Like, how expensive could it get if to buy an HVAC system for a house like that, to replace one?
$25,000-$30,000, depending on the situation. You know,
that's a car. That's a car, and I get nervous and I start to sweat and have all kinds of anxiety attacks when I have to buy a car. God forbid I had to buy an HVAC system when I'm not prepared for it.
Yep.
So this show is going to be great. We're excited. We're here to arm you guys with all the information you need regarding your HVAC system. You noticed right off the bat, you said when we were looking at this, like, there's nothing out there for that person. There's really nothing out there for, just off the top of my head, there's a woman and a husband and a wife who were together. One of them was always the one in charge of the house and the maintenance and all that other stuff, and that person's gone. Like, how did they know what to do? Divorce, life happens, and there's just sometimes where the person you leaned on for these kind of decisions in your life, they're not there anymore, and now it's on you. And how do I arm myself for the information regarding my system to what's right, what's wrong? Am I good? Am I not good? So all that great stuff. So really exciting about what this show is going to be for those people.
It is, and you're right. You're absolutely right. People don't know where to turn to get the right answer. Sometimes, they have a contractor now that's kind of led them astray, and they're frustrated. We're just here to hopefully give you the facts that we know, the facts that we've been trained on, and just hopefully educate the consumer. Everything you arm yourself with when you go to buy a car, buy a house, any major purchase in your home. I know for myself, like, I need a new septic system, possibly. We're having some things tested out. I got to educate myself on that and find out, okay, how should it be done? What licenses? What do I need to look for? And all these type of things. And that's every aspect of your life. You want to make sure that you're making the right decision. Things are expensive, especially nowadays. So, and that's what we're here to do. We're hopefully helping the consumer get the knowledge that they need to make the right decision. Hopefully, if not with us as a contractor, with the right contractor that fits their budget, that fits their needs. But we're here to educate you on what to look for and what to do. And really excited about the programs we're going to have coming out on this. I know you've got some questions for me today that you've put together, Mike, for questions you would have. And that's the other thing. Like, subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook. If you have any questions.
You'll see it on that scroll on the bottom. These are all the ways that you can get in touch with us. We have a YouTube channel, Facebook page. website, and we have a phone number so you can call us.
Especially after you see this show, if you want to ask us any questions, give us a call. It doesn't cost a dime for us to come out and give you a free estimate. It would definitely be worth giving us a call, giving us a shot. So, but not here to sell ourselves. We're here to educate you guys today. So hopefully we can do that.
All right. So let's get started. I know you guys are curious, the nuts and bolts of this whole thing, Joe. So let's get right into it. So this show right here, the first show, is really from the perspective of the person who doesn't know anything. And summer's coming. So there's all kinds of scenarios. We're going to try and cover every person out there that's got every scenario, whether you have an HVAC system or not. Question number one. I'm the homeowner, and I don't have any HVAC system whatsoever. How I cool my house and heat my house is I have box fans in my windows. I have window shakers, which are the window units. And in the summer or in the wintertime, I've got baseboard heat or space heaters. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know what? I want an HVAC system. I want to lower my bill. I want to upgrade, and I want to install. Now, I'm a homeowner, and I'm getting ready to pick up this phone. What are some of the things that you would want to know from me that I would need answers to?
We want to make sure that we have your phone number, your email address, your physical address, and all that information. We store it in the computer. Carrie enters all that stuff in. She'll set up an appointment for us to come out and actually take a look at it. It's the best way for us to give you what you need. Like I said, free estimate, doesn't cost you anything for me to come out and give you advice. That's the beauty of it, is we're actually going to come out and look at what you have.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about that. It kind of takes some of the stress off of having to ask those questions.
A good HVAC company would not just give you a price over the phone. They'd want to come out and look at your house.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. There's no way we could price a system up for you unless we come out to the home. If
they do one of those things where they're telling you, okay, it's going to cost this and this, and they hadn't even seen your home yet, that's warning flag, red flag number one.
But to answer the question, just to give you an idea of what we do when we come out, so what we would do is single story, 2-story, whatever it might be, we're going to measure the downstairs or the single story. We're going to measure the second floor. Because you don't have anything in the house, correct? That's what the question was.
Right.
You have window shakers and baseboard heat. So obviously you're calling us out because more than likely if you're using those type of things, you're probably having high electric bills in the winter and probably even in the summer. So we're here to take a look, evaluate. Does the home have a basement? Does it have a crawl space? Is the crawl space big enough to put the unit in? What kind of insulation do you have in the walls? Those are the type of things as a homeowner that would benefit you to know. Is it insulated? How old are your windows? What's the insulation value in the attic, which we can probably take a look and see that, but we can't see what's in the wall. So any history that you have as a customer is definitely going to help us.
Gotcha.
But the number one thing is us coming out, taking a look at it, and making sure that we're sizing that equipment properly to the home and putting the equipment in the home that needs to be in the home. There's all kinds of equipment, which we can touch on another episode, but from heat pump to furnace to ductless mini splits, all kinds of options. But our job when we come out would be to point you in the right direction of that equipment, depending on our values in the home as well. So,
all right. Second question. So I'm a homeowner. I have no idea I know nothing, but I have a system. I just feel like it's not working. It's just not doing a good enough job. What do you need from me if I'm calling you and saying, I just feel like this system looks like it's from, 1942 and I want to upgrade?
That's an excellent question. So the first thing would be, what is the age of it? Let's find out, because typical system, average lifespan of a system is 10 to 15 years. So our business, and we tell this to all of our customers, we're in the business to keep you comfortable with what's there. If it's something that's costing you a lot of money, you're not comfortable anymore, you are looking, to get ahead of the curve, to, save money on your energy bills and all that kind of stuff, we would decide that then. The number one thing is we're in the business to keep you comfortable, keep you running with what you have. But if you're looking for that upgrade, we want to know, first of all, what the age is. Are you comfortable in the home now? And by that, I mean, do you have rooms that are hot and cold? because that gives us a little hint of what you might have going on in the house. You know, is your ductwork sealed properly? Is something broken going to that room? Not letting the airflow go to that room. There's a lot of things that we need to look at. Again, free estimate. We come out and evaluate the situation. We can, if you don't know the age of your system, say you just bought the house, you've been there a year, it's uncomfortable, or you're just thinking about upgrading, or it looks like been in a junkyard and it's still running, but you don't know what's going on with it. We'll come out, we'll take a look at it, we'll let you know the age of it. As long as that model and serial number, mainly the serial number, as long as that serial number is visible on that unit, we can tell you the age of it. So.
And that kind of leads into the next question. Like when I first got into HVAC, and I didn't realize the lifespan of an HVAC system was so short. You said
10 to 15 years.
10 to 15 years. I had no idea it could be that short. You know, some people just think, all right, I'm moving to this thing. This thing could last as long as my roof, and my roof's supposed to last 30 years. If I have shingles, and if I have a metal roof, it's supposed to last 40 years. And you would think my HVAC system is supposed to last as long as the roof and as long as this, but really, it's that short.
Can I stop you right there for just a second before you ask the question? So everything you just said, just because it has an age stamped on it, you know, engineers and what we see life expectancy wise. So, you know, you take the average across the country or across the world or whatever, and they say, okay, it's supposed to last 10 to 15 years. Doesn't mean you can't get 20. I mean, I work on units that are 40 years old out here. Not saying they're the most efficient and you're getting the best electric bill, best heating and cooling part of your electric bill is going to be the greatest, but they're still running, they're still operating. The key to that longevity is how was that unit taken care of? So I just want to put that out there. Are you changing the filters, and are you getting a routine maintenance on it? But go ahead and ask that question, man.
That was important, because that's kind of leading into the question is, okay, so I have a system, and now we kind of understand the life expectancy of a unit, and then certain environments affect the life expectancy of a unit.
Absolutely.
I have a unit, and or like a scenario like you said, I've moved into a house, I have no idea, you know, what the history of this unit is. But it's okay, it's working right now. What are some of the warning signs that my system is on its last leg? How do I know, just by looking at my unit or listening to my unit, that I can say, all right, this is on its last leg, I need to call somebody?
So smells, you know, sometimes you get some funky smells coming from these units. That could be a fan motor going bad. It could be wires burning up inside of it. Not that your house is going to catch fire. I don't want to alarm, you know, I don't want to alarm people, because a lot of people are like, my house is going to catch fire. There's a lot of safeties in these units that, you know, your house is going to be perfectly fine. A lot of different safeties in the units that your house isn't going to burn down. Now, it might smell like it's burning down, but and not saying that units haven't done that, but smells, appearance. You know, if you live by the beach and that thing's like literally decaying in front of you, it's probably time to start thinking about it. But I always tell folks at 10 years, start saving money. Start thinking about replacement. You might get 20 years out of it. Hey, you're still saving for that, you know, or budgeting for that and when it does go. The key to that 10 to 15 years thing, almost every manufacturer, if it's a heat pump or an air condition, they stamp a 10-year warranty on it. And you know just as well as I do with cars, you get the 60 or the 100,000 mile warranty. Well,
right.
You know, things start breaking down. It seems like right at that point, and they know that.
Yep.
You wouldn't be a good business, you know.
Right.
But those are when things start breaking down on the systems. You know, right around the 10-year mark, you can have premature failures. But if you're maintenance in that unit, a lot of times you won't have any failures. And if they are, they're very minimal cost to those failures. And if you keep that up, you can get 10, 15, 20, you know, years out of it. It's going to give you what you put into it, just like your car. If you don't change the oil in your car, it's not going to.
Now, HVAC system. I'm going to say that right eventually sometime today. So the systems, they all make noises. They're loud noises. So if I have no idea anything about HVAC, is there a sound that is a red flag that would be coming from my inside unit, the air handler inside, or the unit outside? Is there something that I had no idea there's oh my gosh, what is that?
Yes and no. Inside, a squealing is not good.
Okay.
Something's rubbing, or the fan, squirrel cage on the fan, or the motor itself, something's going up probably. You might even associate a smell with that as well.
Okay.
The outdoor unit, when that thing shuts off and it's loud, you hear a bang, those are indicators that,
Gotcha.
some things could be going wrong. And those are some things, that I know they all make different noises. Now, one thing I will say, I get this phone call a lot, and this is something that we try to educate our customers on. We'll get a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my outdoor unit is smoking. Now, this is generally in the wintertime. If it's smoking in the summertime, then definitely give us a call. But in the wintertime, we get a phone call. Hey, our outdoor unit's smoking. I'll say, Carrie, call that customer back. She'll go ahead and schedule an appointment. A lot of times, if they tell her right on the phone that it's smoking, now we've gotten to the point where we're educating the customer right up front and saying, look, we don't want to take your money if it's still heating your home. It's probably going into defrost, and what you're seeing is steam coming off that outdoor unit. A heat pump has to go in defrost, really cold temperatures outside. So, and we'll go further in detail a little bit later on about that. So she'll just say, hey, look, I don't want to take your $85. It's $85 for us to come out. If it's heating, it's probably not that. Phone with technologies nowadays, send us a video of it, of the sounds and things that it's making. We'll gladly look at that for you and just take a look and say, hey, why are we coming out for $85? If we can just solve it over the phone.
Great.
Because it could just be a simple question, Now, not saying it couldn't be a problem. If it's not heating the home, then it could be an issue. Maybe it behooves you to pay the $85 to come out. So,
yeah, I didn't even think about it. Taking video, sending it in. That is easy, people. Very easy. Next question. I have a system. It's working good. What is an ideal maintenance program that I, the owner, can do, or a routine that I can follow to just make sure that it stays that way?
A lot of folks do not maintain their systems. Back to the last thing, if you don't maintain it, you're not going to get the lifespan out of it. You spend thousands of dollars on this thing, you want it to last as long as it'll go, with efficiency in mind. I mean, if you're losing efficiencies and things like that, it plays a factor in changing it out, I guess. But an advanced service agreement with us would be great, advanced climate care. But again, and with that, we come out twice a year. We check it out. There's some benefits to that, lower parts cost through us. But the number one thing as a consumer that you can do to maintain it is change your filter. Change your filter, change your filter, change your filter.
It's right there. Changing the filter. Now, the homeowner, when I go into a grocery store, I see like 15,000 different versions of the filters out there. There's the pleated ones, which are like the accordion-shaped ones for those who are just like, what does pleated mean? Or just the smooth ones, and then there's just different styles. So how do I know which filter is right for my system?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you have a filter and where it's at, because there's some customers, and no disrespect to them, they just didn't know they had a filter.
Right.
So, and that's part of Let's Talk Comfort. We want to educate people. Hey, I have a filter. Mm-hmm. I've heard that before. Changing the filter is, you can use the cheap filters. You can use pleated filters. The main thing is changing the filter. Okay. My personal preference is a pleated filter. You're getting more pollens, allergens, and things out of the air. It's catching more particulates from getting to the evaporator coil of the unit. So that's my favorite, whether it be a 1-inch all the way up to a 5-inch. Air filtration will be another episode for us too, but that is an excellent question. Can you use the cheap filters? Yes. The key to the cheap filters, I'm already going to tell you, change them once a month. Do not let them go any more than that. What happens is, if you let them go more than that, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but you go to change a filter and it's kind of sucked into the return a little bit. Well, there's a gap now, and all that, the filter's not doing anything at that point. Everything's just going right to the evaporator coil, which is causing more expense for you, because now we have to get into the evaporator coil to clean it, which can be, on some homes, it can be pretty difficult to do that, taking ductwork apart just to get to it if it doesn't have an access to get to it. So I would say I don't like the cheap filters, but if, everybody's got a budget. So if you're buying the cheap filters, at least
stay on top of it.
Stay on top of it. Yep.
For those that don't realize how much damage or how much strain it can put having a bad filter on there, I always use the analogy of, it's easy to breathe, but if I were to try and sleep with my face buried in the pillow, it's going to be really hard to breathe at night. And if I don't get out of that habit, I may not wake up one morning by doing that. And the filter does the same thing to your unit. You're making it very hard for it to work. And eventually, it's just going to give up. Definitely important to change your filter. And like you said, stay on top of it. Next question. All right. So I have a system. It's running great. I have a company that I deal with. And I'm part of a maintenance program, or I'm not a part of a maintenance program, but I have a company that I usually deal with for HVAC issues. How do I know that the company and the tech that is in my home, how can I protect myself to make sure that the people coming to service my unit have my best interest in heart? What am I looking for to know that I'm in good hands?
Well, the first thing to do with something like that is go to your local jurisdiction. They have websites. I know here in Maryland it's DLLR.com. It's the Department of Labor and License. You can go on there and see if they're licensed, what license they hold, and if they're insured. That's very important right off the bat. You want to make sure that you're using somebody licensed and insured. We all want a good price on something, and I know a lot of times we're apt to go for the cheapest guy, but sometimes there's reasons why they're the cheapest. So you want to make sure you're protecting, your home's a lot more money than an HVAC system would be, and you don't want the house burning down or flooding or something like that because you're not using somebody licensed and they don't have insurance, and now it falls back in your hands. So something to really think about. If you're using somebody and they're licensed and insured, and you're happy with them, they're coming out and they're doing the things, and you haven't had any hiccups with the system, they're probably doing what needs to be done. If you're using somebody, and I got to be careful, walk on eggshells when I say this, because there are problematic systems. How was it installed? If we didn't install it, how was it installed? Was it installed properly? What underlying issues may there be? Because I've been out to homes where, hey, we've worked on it and we've had to go back a couple times, but that's far and few and in between. If you have somebody coming out servicing your equipment and you're not seeing any problems or issues, or they're not coming back every 2 months and charging you $200, $300, $400, and I'm not saying that can't happen, especially with an older system. And that's the key to that is, if you have a system that's older, if it starts getting to right around the half of what it costs to replace it, we need to start talking about replacement. Or if you see it nickeling and diming like that old car, hey, I put brakes on it last week, and then the muffler fell off of it, and then it's one of those things where, do I keep dumping, or do I decide?
Do I have a guy that actually, it is in my best interest to get a new unit, but this guy just knows that he can really nickel and dime me if he just keeps leaving this one here?
Yep.
What are some of the? So I call you and you're coming out and you're maintaining my home. What are the things you're checking? How do I know that they're? Where I can look to say, okay, he checked this, he checked that, they checked this. Okay, I'm good. What is it? Walk us through a maintenance visit so the person at home can know. Okay, wait a minute. I just watched the show, Let's Talk Comfort from Advanced Climate Care, and he told me this, and this guy didn't check that.
Well, as a seasoned technician, I would say that you should see that technician in your home at least an hour and a half to 2 hours. And it depends on how many systems you have. So that's one system. Okay, so you had a single-story home. They should be going to the outdoor unit. They should be taking the panel off of it, the electrical panel. They should be in there with a meter, and what they're going to be doing is checking the capacitor tolerances. They're going to be checking the amp draw on the fan as it's running. They're going to be putting a thermometer probably in one of your vents, seeing what the air temperature's coming out as it's running, whether it be in heating or cooling season. They should be going to the attic or crawl space, wherever your air handler's at, maybe in the garage, and they're going to be taking panels off of that and checking things inside of that as well. If you don't see them doing those type of things and they're just coming there and they're pulling the filter down, now I will say the filter is the first thing you want to check, because you cannot address a system and see if it's running properly without a clean filter.
Gotcha.
And a good technician is going to, and no disrespect to customers, but we have customers, I just changed it, and then you go and it's not changed. So
Right.
Don't take offense to that, customers, please. We have to make sure that filter is clean before we start looking at things. So that's the first thing that I'm going to be doing, is going to your filter, looking at it. Great job, guys. You're doing a wonderful job keeping it clean or whatever. If I find it dirty and you got one there, we're going to go ahead and replace it for you.
Yeah, there's situations like I could think of, I'm guilty of this, where I could tell my wife, yes, I'm going to change the filter tomorrow. And she's thinking, okay, I'm going to hold him to it. He changed that filter on a Monday, and then you come on a Thursday, and I never did. I got tied up or whatever. So that we've seen situations where we go into a home where the wife honestly, or the husband honestly, thought the filter was changed because the other party was going to do it, and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And they're not, the person who's responsible for changing the filter isn't there. So this person is going off what they thought the other person was doing. So a tech, like you said, is going to take that into account to just make sure that it got done, because it's happened where someone thought it was done and it wasn't, and it was a simple misunderstanding.
And don't point fingers at each other.
Yeah.
We're not.
That's why I said husbands or wife.
No, but that is the first thing. We're going to look and see if the filter's clean. Then we can proceed with the other items I was telling you about. Right. They should be at least doing that type of stuff. You may see them out there with a hose washing off the outdoor coil. I will tell you, if I've put a system in 2 years ago and you're not, every yard is different. So if you're cutting the grass, you have one of those yards where it looks like a dust bowl when you're cutting the grass, and that unit's running, it's going to suck into that coil. Well, you might be somebody that has a beautiful lawn and there's no dust and kicking up, and your coil might look great. I'm going to say at least every 2 years, you're going to want to clean it regardless. But if not every trip that you're out, you're going to see them cleaning this, but you should see them cleaning that outdoor coil and the indoor coil sometime through these visits that they're coming to your home. We come out twice a year, our company does, for heat pump systems and as well as furnace systems and mini split systems and so forth. Mini splits, we've pretty much got that to once a year. The other systems we like to check twice a year because there's some different elements in heating and cooling seasons.
I did notice you said something earlier about addressing an issue where you have dust coming through the vent. So if I'm wanting someone to come out just to make sure I'm good to go for the summer, how would I ask the tech just to make sure that my ductwork is sealed? Do I ask if there's like all these things done, or is there a simple question I can ask to just make sure that my ductwork is sealed? Because like you said, sometimes you think the dust on the wall is because dust floating around and it goes across the vent, it shoots into the wall, but sometimes it's not that. There's a hole somewhere. How would I go to my tech and say, am I good on my ductwork?
That's a good question. Again, it all goes back to installation. Was it sealed properly? That's the way to ask it. Was it sealed properly?
Simple question. Right.
We can put some questions up. Some pictures up, and show the customers sealed ductwork, unsealed ductwork. Because the customer, if they're the type of person that likes to go under their house or in their attic and kind of see what's going on, they can look for it. If not, you're really putting a lot of trust in who's coming out to the home to make sure that they're telling you the right thing. But, if you have vents coming through the floor, one thing you can do in the summertime is pop them up as a homeowner, and if you see any moisture in there, you've got something isn't sealed properly. But you want to ask them, is it sealed properly?
Gotcha.
Is it secured? Is everything high and tight off the ground, close to the floor joist? You don't want that ductwork to be close to the ground at all, or laying on the ground, or not strapped up. You want everything to be high and tight. Again, let's go back to technology. Have them take some pictures for you and show you what you got. A lot of people forget how powerful the phone actually is. I love to take pictures under customers' homes so they know that I'm not railroading them. Right. I like to go under there and just, hey, this is what I'm seeing. make them, let's talk comfort. That's what this is all about, guys. We're here to educate you and help you make the right decisions on your HVAC. You're relying on them to tell you the right thing.
Right.
So,
all right, great questions. Final question: I have a system. I'm looking to have someone maintenance my system, or I don't have a system and I'm looking to get one, or I have a system and it's acting funny and I'm starting to wonder, I don't want to get caught with that big doomsday bill in the middle of summer. I need to reach out to a company and just make sure I'm okay, or whatever needs I have, I need them addressed. So, Advanced Climate Care, why would I call you?
Take a look at Google, Facebook, and our webpage, and take a look at our reviews. Hopefully our customers watching can attest to that. Get in there, comment, let people know how we're doing for you guys. But our reviews speak volumes. We're just trying to put out a good quality installation, service. The guys we've picked here are passionate about this industry. I kind of handpick guys that are career oriented, so that helps us a lot. Just being that type of company, it's one of those things where they're passionate about it. They're passionate about the customers being happy at the end of the day. It's amazing to me to have the team that we have, and we're blessed to have the team that we have. So,
accountability. That's the first word that comes to mind. I mean, the whole purpose of this podcast is to basically pull the veil back, from a spiritual term, and let you guys see behind the scenes what it is HVAC company should be looking for. So we're letting you know, if you were to call us, what to look for to make sure we're doing a good job for you. It's all about you guys, and you've always been that way, and I've known you a long time, and I can't think of a person or a business owner who has always put the customer in such a place where it is all about the customer. I mean, it truly is. It is not just a phrase. It is all about the customer. And I've seen you worry sometimes when you leave a job site. Did I go to the extra mile? Did I hit every base? Did I miss this? And you really do. And it's never happened, but I've seen you, you really do worry about making sure the customer is good and happy and long-term, and making sure it really does matter to you that they're happy.
Mike, I the only answer I have for that is I plan on doing this the rest of my life, until hopefully a retirement age, which I don't foresee in any, you know what I mean? This is my passion. This is what I do. I can't keep doing it if folks aren't happy.
Well, that concludes our first episode of Let's Talk Comfort here at Advanced Climate Care. We've got awesome shows lined up for you in the future. This isn't the only one. That is the first one. Some of the other things we're going to be covering, we're going to go over things inside your house that, if you have a system that you had no idea were harming your unit. So how to arm yourselves to make sure you get the max lifespan out of your unit. Things that are going on outside you had no idea to look for, to watch out for, to make sure that you're in good shape. We're going to have episodes where people can submit questions, and we'll have an episode where we just answer questions from the customers, things that they have for you guys. Also, we have giveaways and promotions. And before I say another word, I'm going to let you explain some of the promotions right here coming up here soon.
Yep. I think too, Mike, before I go into the promotions, we're going to talk about SEER rating. We're going to educate you on, what's important as far as, there's different SEER ratings and efficiencies that people worry about, and you get thrown all this information. And we just, again, Let's Talk Comfort is all about educating the consumer. With that said, though, thank you guys for watching. Back to the Advanced Climate Care giveaways. I'm super excited about that. We have tickets for Shorebirds all season this year. We're going to be giving away 3 tickets to some lucky Advanced Climate Care service agreement holders. We're going to be doing a special podcast on that one. I'll let Mike talk about the gummy bears here in a minute, but because he knows all about these hot gummy bears, but I don't know much about it. But I do know we're going to pick 4 of our employees, put the Advanced Climate Care customers in a basket that everybody has a service agreement, and 4 of the guys are going to pick a name out. And whoever can hold this hot gummy bear, they pop it in. Whoever can hold that the longest is going to be picking the winner of one of those Shorebirds tickets. So just something to liven it up and be fun. we love our customers. We want to show appreciation to you guys. We couldn't be here without you. We're going to be giving some giveaways all season for Shorebirds, not only for customers, our employees and staff actually have opportunities to go to those games too. And customer, even if you're not a customer, we do some giveaways on Facebook. So stay tuned, check us out, and be looking for that gummy bear. What are we going to call that, Mike?
It's going to be the Nitro Challenge. And for those of you who don't know, there's this gummy bear that is like the equivalent of like 9 million or I forget what it is. It's like 9 million joules, which is like an insane amount of like jalapeno peppers. It's deadly. And it's in this little itty bitty gummy bear, and you put it in your mouth, and you got to chew it, and you got to swallow it, and then you're supposed to last 5 minutes without any kind of relief. And it is pure. I'm telling you, folks, this is pure torture, and we're doing it because we love you guys. We're going to do this just so you guys can have a smile and feel like you're a part of something. But the point is, once you put this gummy bear in your mouth, you have to go at least 5 minutes before any kind of relief, before you can go. And we'll have things lined up on a table that once the 5 minutes are up, there'll be like a glass of milk, or a warm can of soda, which is not usually good when you do hot stuff. And then you like milk, and then ice cream or whipped cream. And then, so whoever lasts the longest, if one of us lasts more than 5 minutes before tapping out, if it gets to that 5 minute mark, then it goes to the gauntlet where the guys that are still in it have to go down this line for relief. And then whoever has to go the least furthest, basically, and can still last, and they're still done, boom, the winner goes to that person. So
I can tell you, Mike, I like hot stuff, but this challenge, I'll tell you what I'll do. If we get 100 views on YouTube,
oh boy,
I'll join. There will be 3 picked, and I'll be in this. But I love hot stuff, but I don't know how long I can hold out one of these jelly. What is it called again?
Little Nitro Gummy Bear. Go to YouTube. It's everywhere. Type Little Nitro Gummy Bear Challenge, and you'll see what we are getting ready to put ourselves through for you guys. Oh.
This is Mike's idea, but I think it's fun. I think it's great. Guys, we love you. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next show.
All right. Let's talk comfort. Advanced Climate Care. Thank you, Delmarva, for everything you do, and stay tuned. We'll keep you updated on our next podcast show when it's going to be aired through Facebook, our webpage, and also our YouTube channel. So there's all kinds of ways. Hey, give us a call. Just tell us, hey, when's your next podcast? We'll let you know. Have a wonderful day, Delmarva. Have a wonderful week, wonderful month. Have a wonderful season. And from all of us here at Advanced Climate Care, we love you.